Hi, and welcome back to JetCityMusic.com. We thought it might be interesting to take a look at some different Tube Screamer type pedals. So this isn't really going to be a pedal shootout, but more of an exploration into the sound of the original Tube Screamer and an explanation of what some of the newer variants have to offer. Mainly, though, we wanted to play some guitar and listen to the different tones. The original pedal was designed around the 4558D op amp, and if you see a pedal with that description, it's usually a Tube Screamer type circuit. Later versions use the 5558 and a TLO 72, among other chips. What I've got here is the original TS9, nice and grimy, a Robert Keeley modified TS9. I also have the Dead Horse Overdrive, and here we have the Mad Professor Little Green Wonder. Robert Keeley might have been one of the first to mod the TS pedals, starting a wave of other people upgrading this popular circuit. His mods include a true bypass, less low cut, giving you more bottom end. He uses metal film resistors and metal film capacitors for lower noise and better consistency. Next we have the Dead Horse from Protone Pedals. It also has a true bypass and extended low end, and also adds the option to switch from symmetrical to asymmetrical diode clipping with this switch right here. Doesn't tell you which is which though, so you just have to use your ears. And we'll also be looking at the Little Green Wonder from Mad Professor Pedals. This pedal also is a true bypass pedal, and instead of a tone control has a body control, which essentially is a tone control but seems to work the low cut point of the pedal, giving more body when fully counterclockwise and more top when clockwise. The middle position seems to be closest to the original Tube Screamer. So let's take a listen to all these pedals and I'll stop talking quite so much. I'm playing a Les Paul Jr. through a Fender Pro Reverb. This is my clean tone. And I'll take a moment and tune before we continue. Alright, we are just recording a little bit of the original Tube Screamer for comparison with the other pedals. Here's Where Is My Mind? And Birthday. Crank this up a little bit more. And Holiday in the Sun. The original Ibanez Tube Screamer TS9 uses a FET switching to bypass the overdrive. So when it's not engaged, it will affect the sound of the guitar. I'm going to remove that pedal now that I'm done making some demonstrations. So I've tried to match the gain and levels for these 3 pedals just a little bit, and I'll switch back and forth real quick, playing some different stuff. Already heard this one. And now I think I'll just play around with each pedal a little bit on its own. Here's the Dead Horse. As far as I can tell, this up position is the closest to the symmetrical clipping. Switching the switch seems to bring the guitar a little further forward. It's got more presence. And also more mid-range. This pedal has got the most output of all of them. It really cranks it up and drives the amp. It also has a lot more low end than either of the other ones. It's pretty good on the mild overdrive as well. I think the Dead Horse has got the most kind of cutting lead tone of any of them. Very nice. And the Keeley mod also has got some nice level to it. It's very close to the original Ibanez Tube Screamer, but probably just a little cleaner and a little rounder in its tone. It's not quite as buzzy as the top end from the original Ibanez. Very much like the classic original, but nicer. So this gives you a quick comparison of a few Tube Screamer type pedals. Other pedals in this category include the Greer Burning Goat, the Homebrew Electronics Power Screamer, Jam Pedals Tube Dreamer 8, and the Rockbox Boiling Point. You can check these and many other pedals out at jetcitymusic.com.